Greetings guys, gals, non-binary pals, and welcome back to another video. Today I am once again back here with a cup of coffee, ready to go. But don't be fooled by the coffee. It is in fact 7 p.m. I just have a caffeine addiction and a terrible, terrible sleep schedule. Over the past several months, probably honestly a couple of years, time is an illusion. It makes no sense. I don't know how it's the middle of December. People have been making videos about Jubilee and Cut. You know, these videos are like pick the secret virgin, line people up and rank them based on how they look, that sort of thing. You know, the really good, fun videos. And I watch a lot of these. I watch a lot of commentary YouTube. It's pretty much the only YouTube I watch outside of like K-pop videos. And I was like, you know what? I love watching these. They're really fun. I like playing along while I watch. So why don't I make a video? I know I'm really late to this trend, but that's kind of what I do. I never get around to things. I procrastinate forever. By the time I finally do things, no one cares. But you know, Cody Ko still makes these videos and everyone loves Cody Ko. So maybe everyone will love me too. Before I get into it, I would like to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Surfshark. Now, if you've been subscribed to this channel for a while, you know that I love Surfshark. But if you are new here or you haven't heard me talk about them before, let me tell you a little bit about them. Surfshark is an app or browser extension that allows you to change your location to just about anywhere in the world, which is a really incredible feature for a whole myriad, is that the right word? Of reasons. My favorite part about this is that it allows you to access libraries and content that you wouldn't normally be able to access. So like on Netflix or YouTube or Disney Plus, etc., you can access content that you can't normally see in your country. So if your favorite show has been taken off of Netflix in your country, no need to panic. Surfshark is here to help. You can just click it, change it, and then boom, you can find your favorite show that has been removed from your country and see it in another. Such as when New Girl was removed off of New Zealand Netflix and I spent a good time crying about it. I then went on to Surfshark, I changed my location to be in the United States, and then boom, I had my comfort show back. Ready to binge watch 6 times a year, as always. Another really cool part about Surfshark is that it encrypts all of your data. So basically, it just keeps everything safe and secure and behind a wall. So if you're on like dodgy public Wi-Fi or anything, no one's going to be able to breach that and get in and steal your information that, you know, you don't want stolen. So that's really cool, really helpful. Don't really like it when people try to steal my data. You can browse the internet worry-free, and you can do it on as many devices as you like at any given time. You can use your laptop, your phone, your iPad, all at one time, all protected. If all of that sounds good to you, a way to make it even better is that if you use the link in my description and the code QueerKiwi, you get 83% off as well as your first 4 months completely free. Thank you, Surfshark, for sponsoring this video, and let's get on with it. Anyway, the one that we're going to be watching today is very on brand to my channel. When I was going through this, I realized I'd seen most of them from other people, other people making videos, but there's one I came across, which is 6 bisexuals and 1 straight person. Can the 6 bisexuals pick out the het in the room? And this was right up my alley. This is something that I'm here for. I am ready to see what the questions are. I want to know how we rat out the het, and I want to see if I can sniff them out too, you know?
We brought together 7 bisexuals.
I am bisexual.
I am bisexual.
I'm bisexual.
I am bisexual.
I'm bisexual.
I'm bisexual.
I am bisexual.
1 is a liar. If the group discovers who the liar is, they'll split a cash prize. If the liar survives, they win the entire prize. Who is the odd one out?
I was nervous because everyone was looking like they could fit into being a bisexual person.
What does that mean? Everyone could fit into being a bisexual person. I mean, yeah. I mean, yes, true. Everyone could fit into being a bisexual person. You are correct.
How would you define bisexuality in like your own words, I guess?
For me, it's just being attracted to human beings where I see people for their heart and their soul. Of course, I care about the outside too, don't get me wrong.
I was suspicious of David just because that was the closest one I could feel was not bisexual.
David just has more of a hetero look compared to everyone else.
Just going off vibes. They didn't say vibes, they said look. But I feel like we should be going based off of vibes. No, this reminds me of one time I went out with this guy, and we were talking about sexuality, and he said, if you aren't gay, then the sky isn't blue.
I felt so called out!
I'm not saying they're wrong. If I was in this game, there would be no question. Everyone would know based purely off of vibes. I don't think I would be voted out as the het, is all I'm saying.
I've dated both girls and guys. Not that that means like you're bi or not.
She looks like my ex. Sorry. She's gay because she looks like my ex. So if we're going off of pure looks and vibes, I'm basing that purely on my own experience that I dated someone who looks like her, so therefore she is gay. So that's my
gut instincts were telling me Ellie might be the odd one out.
I felt like I should vote for Molly because I feel like this is the safe bet.
And we have a tie between Ellie and Molly. That means we're going into a tiebreaker.
Hey, I don't know what to tell you guys. Maybe I came off too strong or something, but I just have a big personality. I am bisexual. I've questioned it multiple times beforehand, but I finally identified what I really feel. And I mean, I hope you guys can see that.
All right, I have known that I was bi or not straight or a lesbian since I was about 8 years old when my parents caught me looking up girls kissing on YouTube. Angelica from Rugrats is what really started this off for me, so that's pretty gay.
I respect that. No, I respect that. Angelica from Rugrats realizing that you're gay as a child, I respect it heavily. No good. No good. I think mine was classic, as like everyone else's, but Shigo from Kim Possible, who didn't have a crush on her? We all had a crush on her. Don't lie. You had a crush on her, I had a crush on her, we all had a crush on her. Shigo.
Oh, right.
If I'm wrong, I question my judgment.
What kind of music do you listen? Like, what artists do you listen
Mine is
to?
so cliche.
Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus,
I thought you
Demi
listened to
Lovato.
Rascal
Miley Cyrus is
Flatts.
bisexual too.
I love these questions. Gay people listen to a specific type of music. Obviously, if you listen to Selena Gomez, Demi Lovato, Miley Cyrus, and you are a man, you are not heterosexual. I don't make the rules.
Demi Lovato just came out as pansexual.
She did.
Miley Cyrus, I
Miley.
love Miley Cyrus.
My
I
favorite
wanna
person
meet
is
her.
Adam Lambert. I've been obsessed with him since I was
American
12.
Idol.
I'm sorry. Sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know why that was so funny. But that's like the most like maybe listen, it's this weird thing of like that's the most like obscure like I'm gay. Listen, see, look. But like also at the same time, I don't think a straight person would go for Adam Lambert of all people, you know? And I say that as though I don't like Adam Lambert. I went to an Adam Lambert concert. To be fair, I went to an Adam Lambert concert because Melanie Martinez was opening back in 2016. But I still technically, I went to an Adam Lambert concert. I wanted him to win American Idol when I was, 8, 9 when he was on it. It's just funny that that was her answer. Sorry. Adam Lambert? When was the last time Adam Lambert released music? I was obsessed with him as a child though. I loved Adam Lambert as a child. I had his CDs, I had his albums, I sung his music. He released an album last year. Okay, go off. Good for you. But it's just a funny answer. No one's favorite artist is Adam Lambert.
I have a question.
Yes,
Okay.
okay.
So when did everyone came out and how was the family reaction, friends reaction?
Like the first time taking an edible, we're having a moment and I'm like, Mom, I need to tell you something. And she's like, what? And I'm like, I like girls. What do other guys do? And she's just like, oh, okay. And like no one really expected it, but everyone's really accepting.
That's the best coming out story I've had. I was high with my mom and I just told her that I was gay while I was crying. brilliant, fantastic. I love that so much. That's the best way to come out. Get high with your mom and then tell fantastic. I realized I hadn't given my guess yet, and that's like one of the fun parts about this is guessing and then changing my mind. Listen, my guess right now is the blonde girl that looks like my ex. I know that I said that that's my reason why she is gay, but I don't know. This is, a couple of them haven't like talked. This is really hard because they don't talk. I don't know any of their names. I don't know how people always remember people's names in this. Half of them haven't talked. I haven't gotten a story out of half of them.
Dumb stereotypes you guys have heard that like are really annoying to you, like your pet peeves.
That we're cheaters.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
Commit.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
To me, it's like, oh, you bi, so you can just get everyone.
Yeah.
Have any of your partners ever said like, oh, more competition?
Hello?
It's like, no, like I love you, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Although I have dated a guy and a girl at the same time once. It didn't go well. But for once, I felt like people were validating me.
Because you were
Very
actually
awkward.
actioning
Exactly.
it
I was
out.
like, oh yeah, now what? Am I gay or am I straight to you? Because I have both right
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
That reminds me of Halsey's tweet from like, I think 2016, 2017 is one of my favorite tweets. So if I'm dating a guy, I'm straight, and if I date a woman, I'm a lesbian. The only way to be a hashtag true bisexual is to date two people at once. I remember the day she tweeted that and being like, I mean, it is kind of what they say, because people are always on Halsey's fucking case, man. This is at the time, this was a few months after Hopeless Fountain Kingdom came out, and people were like all up in her fucking replies and shit being like, how come we've never dated a woman? How come we've never seen you public with a woman? You're not really bisexual, you're lying about it. And they were like, what, do you want like a fucking public record of my sex life? I'm not giving you that. Halsey goes on great Twitter runs sometimes, and that was just part of it, and it's good. I love Halsey. Anyway, back to it.
Of course, it's like, oh, you want to have a threesome? Oh my god, I'm not a unicorn.
She is giving me the most het vibes out of everyone here, you know? Like, she listen, I know she's the first person I said she's gay, but I did say it as a joke. She's giving me the most het vibes. Her and Melvin? Is that his name? He hasn't said much. So, but that's like reason to be suspicious, which is why I'm not suspicious. I watched too much Pretty Little Lies as a teenager, and it's like warped my perception of like reality, being like, no, that's too obvious, so it can't be them. And I know that's how it like always works in shows, but like Pretty Little Lies was the absolute. If you watched it, you know what I mean. It's like warped my brain.
It's like, well, have you even been with a girl? For men, it's always like, you're not bisexual, you're gay.
She's definitely gay. If she's not, fucking good. All right. But she's definitely bi.
People ask me like, oh, do you like girls or guys more? I don't want to answer that question because it always changes, like you said. I've only dated guys, but it doesn't mean I'm gay. Like it means I still am attracted to women, and it's like.
And the thing is, like, they assume that you're gay, but you know, you just think that you're bi just to make it like easier. Like, are you sure you're just not gay and you just don't want to try something?
And I feel like it's way worse for guys in that way, and then for girls, it's like, no, you're just straight, and you know, you just want to like experiment, whatever.
So I voted for Sydney because I don't know, she seemed a little nervous.
I was a little more suspicious of Ellie because I also felt like the guys were kind of teaming up, so I wanted to vote for her so I wouldn't be voted out.
Like you said, I've only dated guys, but it doesn't mean I'm gay. Like it means I still am attracted to women, and it's like.
And the thing is, like, they assume that you're gay, but you know, you just think that you're bi just to make it like easier. Like, are you sure you're just not gay and you just don't want to try something? Like,
And I feel like it's way worse for guys in that way, and then for girls, it's like, no, you're just straight, and you know, you just want to like experiment, whatever. Exactly.
So I voted for Sydney because I don't know, she seemed a little nervous.
Honestly, really don't know.
I was a little more suspicious of Ellie because I also felt like the guys were kind of teaming up, so I wanted to vote for her so I wouldn't be voted out.
I'm so sorry.
Interesting is that they're all voting for the women. It's really interesting that no one's voted for like men, like pretty much the whole time, which I think is really funny, sort of playing into what they were literally just talking about like, you're not really bisexual, you're just straight. or you're not really to women, and oh, you're not really bisexual, you're just gay to men. Because to me, that's sort of how this feels based on this voting, is they're like, I don't know, they're like validating the men's queerness more than the women's. And it's not intentional, obviously. The person I'm guessing is also a woman, but I don't know. It's funny that all 3 women have a vote for them and none of the men do. And all the people voted out have also been women. It's just very interesting.
It's okay. I hope you find the hetero guys. Oh.
I wouldn't have voted her out. But she's also really cool and I have a crush on her, so that's...
If you want to continue playing, please raise your hand in 3, 2, 1.
I have a question.
Okay.
Was it difficult for you to come out to yourself? Because it was extremely difficult for me because I never really had a crush on a guy because I would only have crushes on females. Like, I remember it was right after I graduated high school. I was doing research on sexuality, you know, the spectrum and everything.
Did you take the quiz that you're like,
I took like 100. I took 100 quizzes.
I think it was hard for me, like I mentioned before, like more to myself than like my family or the people around me. But it was just challenging figuring that out.
I'm sorry, I have doubt on you.
Same, me too.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
I'm suspicious of David too. Listen, it's the Pretty Little Liars thing in my head again. Now that everyone else thinks it's her, I'm like, it can't be her. That's not how real life works. Things in real life are very often the way that they seem because no one's writing them out and scripting them to not be. So a lot of the time, if most people think something in a real life situation, it's going to be true. But since they all think it's her, and I watched Pretty Little Liars as a teenager, I'm like, it can't be. It's not her, it's someone else. So now I have to change my answer. This is not how life works. I'm changing it to not Melvin. Melvin's the guy I said before, the one that started this round, who's like, did you all have a hard time coming out to yourself? Because I did. Listen, a valid question to ask. Absolutely a valid question to ask. And it didn't feel insincere. But I don't know who else to pick, so maybe Melvin's I don't know. This is hard. This is like ruining my brand of being able to pick out heterosexuals. Maybe. My het dar is off today, guys.
oh my god, I don't know what to ask. Like, I just...
Do you guys have like a favorite TV character, like representation who's bi?
Yeah. I would say, because I'm being called out, Alice from the L Word. I was on an episode of the L Word as an LGBT background person.
Okay.
I started the first GSA at my middle school.
Oh.
And she tried to defend herself, but it was not convincing to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to ask okay, when is Pride Month? I'm sorry, I really have a doubt on you. I'm sorry, but
I believe you.
I feel like in this show, they think about stereotypes. I feel like I'm very feminine, so that would be so easy for me to just be straight.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I was suspicious of Sydney, but then there was a point where I was also suspicious of Melvin. The fact that he did go against Sydney, that made me think about it a little.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm also suspicious of Melvin. He's pinning everything on frickin' Sydney. Suspicious. Trying to get it all off of you? Suspicious. And again, playing it off on stereotypes. Melvin is a little bit more feminine and characteristic, right, in the way that he speaks. So if we're trying to put a mole in there, it makes sense that it would be Melvin. So I'm also suspicious of him.
So in round 3, I began maybe doubting myself a little bit, thinking, okay, it could be Sydney.
This is wrong.
So I was like, it's either gonna be me or Marissa. I thought the guys would vote against the girls because 2 girls were voted out in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah, why are we only voting for women? What's going on, guys? Why are we only voting for women out? Why can't the women be bisexual? Just saying. Well, the women have been suspected as being straight, and none of the men have been suspected as being straight, and this whole fucking conversation is that women's bisexuality is always invalidated, and they're always called straight, and you're continuing to... Sorry. I'm gonna continue to play now. I hope it's Melvin. It's not Marissa. If Marissa is the het here, fucking, all right, go off. It's not Marissa. I don't know who it is. It's not Marissa. Now that I've said that, I feel like you're gonna be wrong. Melvin. I suspect Melvin. Melvin. No, but Melvin, listen. You wouldn't go so hard on someone if it was you, right? Because that makes you look sus. Going so hard on someone to pass off the blame? No, or is it smart or is it stupid to do that? I mean, it's working for him, so no, so I still think it's him.
Please raise your hand if you want to continue the game in 3, 2, 1.
Melvin, you went so hard on Sydney. You were so sure that it was Sydney, and then Sydney leaves and you're like, no, she might have been gay. The heterosexual is still in here. But also that makes me suspicious that it is him. It can't be him because he could have stopped playing. Like, I feel like at this point, if you were the mole, you would want to stop. Because another round means another chance for you to get eliminated, and then you wouldn't have the money. So if he is the het, he's playing this really poorly.
If it's you?
Why are you accusing the other women? What do you have against women? Why are you voting for women every time? What are you doing? Listen, we're doing this whole, like, invalidating women's bisexuality and assuming they're all heterosexual. That's been a constant this whole time. You have something against women. That's a very heterosexual trait to have. Hating women? It's very heterosexual of you. I also forgot that, like, it could have been someone that left, like, so long ago. It doesn't have to be one of the people in this room. But every time someone object permanence, man. As soon as someone leaves, I don't remember them. My brain forgets them, and it's someone left in this room. It could have been the person voted out on the first round. I don't remember anyone prior to right now. I can't see them, so they don't exist.
If the lights turn green, that means you have voted out the mole and you
We're
win.
getting drinks if we win. Yeah.
If the light turns red, that means that the mole is still in the box and you lose.
So it wasn't Melvin. Who was it?
Will the mole please step forward and reveal yourself in 3, 2, 1.
I wasn't expecting that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what I expected, but I didn't expect her. And is that me stereotyping? Yes, this entire show is just stereotyping. Is it also because I think she's really pretty and really cool, and that's inconvenient for me, for her to not be gay? Yes, that also plays a factor in it.
I think a lot of people found difficulty in figuring out who was bisexual. They didn't really have a tactic. You can't really tell who's bisexual based on just looking at them or whatever.
Mind blown. I didn't know that. I didn't know that you couldn't tell someone was gay based on looking at them. I guess I have to, like, rethink and reevaluate my whole life because I was so certain that I could just look at someone and know instantly if they were queer or not. Whoa, this game is, like, you know, it really makes you think. It really just, like, tickles the brain, you know? It's, like, actually really deep, really woke. It makes you question things. It makes you realize things, you know? We're all the same. We're all humans. And you can't judge each other or tell anything about one another just by, like, surface level, you know? That's the real takeaway here today, guys. So I was right initially, and it wasn't Sydney. So my thing of she looks like my ex-girlfriend was valid, and it paid off. But the thing is, like I said, the other people left, so they didn't exist anymore. I had to pick someone. The reason it was hard for me, because it was none of them. So my gaydar's not broken. But again, like, going off of how that ended, we can't choose, we don't know. There's nothing to go off of. We're all one sexuality, and that's human sexuality. That's not the saying. We're one race, the human race. The sexuality one doesn't work. That doesn't make sense. You know what I mean, though. Anyway, thank you, Jubilee, for teaching me, like, a really valuable lesson of, you know, don't judge a book by its cover. You don't know. Unless it's me. And then you do know. And everyone knows. And I get offended if someone thinks that I'm straight. So, assumptions are bad, but also, that's all. Thank you for coming to this video. If you want to see me do more, like, Jubilee videos, let me know. I think that they're quite fun. They're some of my favorite videos to watch, so I've had fun. If you've had fun and you want to see more of these, let me know. I've just opened up an email for you to send video ideas to. If you want to, you can send it to kiwi.woo @gmail.com. Speaking of my second channel, go subscribe to that. I haven't done too much on there yet, but I'm just uploading whatever I feel like when I want to. A whole bunch of random shit. So that's there. A massive thank you to my Kiwi Fruit and Kiwi Bad channel members whose names are up on the screen right now. I love and appreciate you very, very much. Thank you so much for joining. If you would like to become a channel member, you can click If you would like to become a channel member, you can click the top link in the description or the little join button. You get my videos a day early, as well as 10% off my shop when I have things on my shop, and you also get some little extra stuff sometimes. Yeah. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, The Queer Kiwi, and Twitter, That Queer Kiwi. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Stay safe. Keep fighting. I love you. Mwah.
And when you close your eyes, you replace